Hi, I'm Roelof Dijk, Executive Director of the Real Estate Forums here with Informa, and welcome to 10 Minutes with Dhara Patel, CEO of Outer Realm VR. Welcome, Dhara.
Thank you. It's great to see you, Ruli. How are you doing?
Good, good. So we're going to talk about a few things here, but I think it's probably fair to say that there's a lot going on in real estate in general right now, both residential and commercial. We see some asset types seeing excess supply, others seeing shortages, and it depends on if it's for sale or for lease. So, we have some issues in the different types of real estate. And I think there's some new developments that could probably use a little hand on the marketing side. And virtual reality seems like it could be a differentiator there. And I think you obviously can offer a unique perspective on a lot of this. So maybe let's dig into that side of it. When I look at the attendees of our forums, they know about VR. VR has been around. They've been doing some VR tours, but let's dig into exactly what Outer Realm VR does.
Yeah, absolutely. So we specialize in immersive experiences, which are powered by that cutting edge VR engines like Unreal Engine. It's a gaming technology that we use. It's a software, and typically it's utilized for just creating really amazing photorealistic games. But we've been lucky enough to kind of jump into the world and create our own real estate version of it. So we have our own template, our own tours, and the benefit of it is we kind of get in, we get to play with it. We really get to play with the textures and make it as photorealistic as possible. So there are tours that we create that are so surreal that you're like, wait a second, is this not real? Which makes no sense when you think about it, but it's like when you look at that high definition 8K TV and you're like, wait a second, this feels way too
Feels
real.
weird.
It's in the room with me kind of real. So yeah. Um, and we have basically an offer of wide range of marketing collateral beyond just VR tours. The benefit of what we do is that we get to export all at once. So, if with your usual providers, you're probably getting 2D images, a 360 tour here, and sometimes a video fly through, and then they'll charge you all kinds of prices for that. Well, we don't have to do that because we're building all of this in Unreal Engine. And because of that, and our exporting factor, it's just a little bit more efficient for us. So it makes it a little bit easier for our clients because we're an all-in-one service and they don't have to really go anywhere else for that staging
I
process overall.
imagine thinking about that, all the marketing collateral that comes out of that, I imagine, everything can be customized from the furniture and everything, and as well as the views. So,
Yeah.
that really does revolutionize this a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it 100% does. What makes this unique is that we work on these projects individually, right? So I have clients who go, I want that IKEA chair and only that IKEA chair, and I will custom build it for them. And then I have clients who come in and go, I want like a pink Barbie doll house vibe. And I'm like, all right, I got you, contemporary pink Barbie doll house. Here is the vision board that we've created. They agree to it, and then we put it all in for them. So we're kind of a little bit of everything. So whatever the client needs to be customized. And I think the biggest part about it is the views. We utilize drone photography. So we come in, we take actual views of that property. So the clients are able to be on the 39th floor and still see exactly what the skyline is going to look like for them, because the new generation is all about the views. There's something special in some of these places. So you want to be able to market them uh, for that itself. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this is a lot better than PDFs and emails and static websites. Um, and it sounds like it can be used for both interior design on existing buildings, taking a bare building and giving it a proper layout so people can visualize it, but then also specifically on new developments. It sounds really, really interesting. Um, so let's talk about, the real benefits of using VR on a project. Like why if I'm doing a new development, what what do I get out of this? What's my return on investment when I'm using a tool like this?
Yeah, I'm myself am conducting a study to see if I can get some better data because it's really vague out there when it comes to it. I wish I could give you some real punch-all facts, but the most important study that I've seen so far is the Sotheby's International Realty. They saw a significant boost in sales and brand recognition by implementing VR technology. They saw a 30% increase in property inquiries and a 20% rise in property sales within the first year alone. And especially in the Canadian market, we're looking at properties that our detached homes are averaging $1 million. So a 20% increase on that is pretty significant, right? So I would say though that's like your return on investment overall, and it's worth it because I think what people don't realize is by the time they end up with all this marketing material that they've collected throughout that construction phase, that it's the same amount they could have paid me in the beginning and started pre-sales. And I think it's just kind of changing that fact because there is a bit of a scramble in the industry, right? When you're in that pre-construction phase, you're so focused. You're so focused. You're like, okay, I need to get the permits completed. I need to do this, do that, and you're so focused on that that you forget. Oh my God, there's a whole level of marketing, and you think that you have to wait all the way until that drywall comes in for staging, but it's not the case anymore with this new technology. With VR, we come in during the pre-construction phase and we're building off of blueprints, right? And we're creating this beautiful interior design either from us or from your viewpoint, and we're showcasing it to clients earlier on, which is what you want to see.
Yeah, and I know, when you're talking about pre-leasing or pre-sales, you need to hit a certain threshold to get that project off the ground to get your financing. So time really is money. And I guess making an emotional connection to it when someone's selling something they can see, feel, it does create a bit of more of an emotional side to it, as opposed to just seeing 2D, like I said, layout.
Yeah, I think it's the world has changed a lot, right? The new generation of buyers are very visceral, very visual. They really need to see it, they need to feel it, they need to be connected to it. It's a hard sell already, and then market prices are so high that we really want to feel confident as a buyer that this is something that I can see myself imagining in because it's not like before where everything was just an investment property, right? Now people are looking for that true home feeling. Like, can I imagine myself living here before I give it to someone else, or however they want to live in that space, right? So that's what VR does. It really does build that emotional connection. It really helps people visualize themselves in that space, walking around in it, surrounded by it. It's different when you see something on your laptop screen and the images are static and you're just kind of scrolling through them. You're not really interested, but you put on the headset, you're looking up, you're looking to the side, you're clicking on buttons and you're walking over to this area, you're looking at the type of stove it is. You can imagine yourself flipping some burgers, in the backyard. So it's a whole different kind of vision and emotional connection that you're creating with VR.
And the report that you were talking about, that should be out soon. So we'll definitely get a link up on our website for that, so that folks can download it. So when should a client engage out of realm feel? I mean, you have obviously there's a project-based angle, but also a timing angle. So talk to us a bit about that.
Yeah, so there's so many different phases to a project. I would say typically you want to come to us when your plans have been approved. Before you've really started construction, if we want to take advantage fully of the marketing material that we're providing, I would say your plans are approved, your interior is almost improved, however you decide that which way to go, and you have a decent idea of what your materials are overall going to look like. We take that information and we bring it out to you. Usually you can start pre-selling within 4 to 6 weeks. It just depends on the scope of the project. So our timelines typically begin at 4 weeks and then they move on forward. So I've had projects where 17 units. Now I'm not getting 17 units done in 4 weeks. That turns into a longer phased project, but definitely starting point between 4 weeks. Our average timeline ends around 10 weeks. So in that early construction phase,
Detail and how many units?
Sorry?
Okay, that's so it depends on how much detail and how much of a unit mix there is. That makes
Yes.
sense.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I mean, it depends on the scope. So we do commercial as well.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, already built commercial properties, they're a tough sell sometimes. So coming in and having that visual put into place, it makes a huge impact. So I think a previous client that we had, they only did one floor. It was 10,000 square feet. And then they were able to pre-sell within 2 months, I think it was, or 3 months, all 6 floors, which is I will say pretty good numbers when it comes to selling a commercial property, floor by floor.
Right, Darth. So that's all really interesting. Now, I mean, you talked about VR revolutionizing things, and I think about the implementation of it. It used to require a lot of really heavy hardware, expensive hardware. How have you gotten around that, or have you?
Yeah, so VR changes so quickly, the technology. So something that's effective 6 months ago or was a hindrance 6 months ago may not be anymore, right? So before, typically there were heavy cost factors because you had to buy a heavy duty gaming laptop with that headset. It made it impossible to kind of show the product at home. And if you were able to create a web VR version of it, it usually was very poor quality. It would make people dizzy. And so that's why VR hasn't been easy to integrate into real estate, because the whole concept is let's look at it from home, but what are we showing them? It's not great quality, right? So the industry has changed a lot, and they've adopted a version where on 360 tours, you're now actually able to just kind of click on the link in the 360 tour that you're getting, and you open it up in the headset, and it's like a type of VR. So people can walk through that space and everything like it from the comfort of their own home. So it is a game changer because, not everybody knows about this tech advancement. It's a simple integration that's happened, but it's going to be a game changer for the next year because now you really are immersing yourself at home, which is what we're very excited to offer to clients. So we still want to be able to offer the laptop and headset in the office space, having clients come in, having them engage with you, having that little connection saying, what do you think of the space, is very nice. But giving them the opportunity to view it at home from their couch also is a game changer itself. So we're really excited about that.
And I guess on the topic of allowing people to experience it, you're going to be available at our Land and Development Conference on May 28th here in Toronto. So,
Yeah.
so for everyone, please keep an eye out for Dhara and the Outer Realm VR station there, and go and experience it. It's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, we're very excited. I'm looking forward. Me and my team are looking forward to coming. So
Wonderful. So, well, thank you very much for joining me for 10 minutes with Dhara Patel, CEO of Outer Realm VR, and we'll see you in a few weeks, Dhara.
all right, sounds good. Ciao, guys.